Hello, my friends. This is Albina, and today I'm sharing with you how to grow your revenues, yoga business revenues by 30% or more. As a matter of fact, um, this same formula can be applied to not just the yoga business, but literally to any business. And I learned this from years of business mastery with Tony Robbins, alongside with, some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. So once you understand how to apply this formula to your own business, your business can grow geometrically. And this is called Jay Abraham's 3 ways to grow a business. You focus on the 3 categories, and it's very, very simple. So right now, don't think about the details and particulars. I'm going to tell you all about it. Right now, I just want you to focus on the buckets. So the first bucket is increase the number of customers. Well, that goes without saying, right? Increase the number of customers. Now, right now you're probably thinking of like huge numbers. I'm talking about incremental, really tiny numbers. So let's just say 10%. So if you have 100 clients, all you need is 10 extra clients. The second bucket is increase the average transaction value. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but ultimately, how much on average does your client spend at your yoga studio, right, or at your business? And the third bucket is increase the frequency of repurchase. In other words, if you can encourage your clients to purchase just one little thing more frequently. Maybe it's just a coconut water. Maybe it's a cute tank top. Maybe it is enrolling at some fun workshop that you have. So just very small incremental increase in this bucket. So the 3 buckets are number of customers, average transaction value, and the frequency of repurchase. So take a deep breath with me right now and say with me, I love numbers and numbers love me. I love numbers and numbers love me. Now, you guys, it may sound really silly, but most of us, especially in the yoga world, we're here for the passion for yoga. And whenever we look at the numbers, our eyes get glassy and we're no longer interested. Trust me when I say that you are a leader of your business, you are an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. You have to understand numbers. And this is an opportunity that I'm presenting to you, an opportunity to learn how to read, understand, and make numbers work for you. So it's really easy. So the J. Abraham method that is designed to work for any business to geometrically grow your revenues is take the current number of customers times current average amount per sale, dollar amount per sale, times current repurchase frequency, and you get a total. So let me give you an example. This is an oversimplified example. Let's say currently you have 1,000 clients, and let's say your average transactional value is $100, and your customers purchased 2 times a month, right? And that means that your revenues are $200,000. Now take a deep breath with me. This gets really interesting really, really fast. Now, the total number of clients, if you use MindBody, you can run that report, total sales. And then I believe you tag new the customers, and it will pull out the number of customers that purchased something from you in that month. The average transactional value, you pretty much take the total sales number for a given month and you divide it by the total number of clients, and you'll get the average transaction value for your clients. And then purchase value, I usually just assume it's 1, but for this example, I just said 2 just to make it interesting. But you can assume that 1 is your number. And I'm using this example to simply illustrate to you the power of numbers. So let's see how this formula works. Let's just say we're going to go for a 10% increase in each of the buckets. So your number of clients grow from 1,000 to 1,100 customers. Let's say your average transaction value goes from $10 to $110, and instead of your customers purchasing just once a month, they purchase, 2 times a month, they purchase 2.2 times. Now remember, these are just the numbers. Look how in just 1 month, with these tiny increases in these 3 buckets, your revenues grow from $200,000 to $266,000. Wouldn't you like your revenues to grow by $66,000 month over month? I would say yes. I would love that kind of increase. So let me just go on and explain really quickly how the formula works, so you understand the numbers, and then really quickly I'm going to show you the ways how to apply this for your business. So if I were to say, okay, 10%, it's nothing, I can go for 20% increase in these buckets. So if you just increase the numbers that you're starting with by 20%, your revenues grow from $200,000 to $345,600. Would you like that $145,000 increase in revenues month over month? I'd say yes. I would love that kind of increase. So once again, let me just pause really quickly, take a deep breath. The way you come up with your current numbers, how do you calculate your current buckets? Again, you run a sales report. So right now we're at the end of March. Let's just say you're running a month to date sales report for the month of March. So it's a sales report in mind body. You take a total number of sales. Maybe it's 100,000 or something, and then you tag your clients to determine how many clients you have. And then for the average transaction number, you take the total sales number and divide it by the number of clients. That will be your average transaction number. And you just assume, for the simplicity of this exercise, I assume that repurchase frequency is simply 1, and that's how you come up with your initial numbers. And then you kind of set goals. You set goals. How much do I want to increase my buckets with or by, and if you want to play it really safe, let's just say 5% increase. And even a 5% increase will create a geometric growth in your revenues month over month. So let's say you have 100 clients right now. All you need to do is simply bring in 5 new clients. Can you do it? Absolutely, you can. If you set a goal of bringing 5 new clients into your yoga studio in the month of April, it is absolutely doable, and it's playing it very, very safe. Now, the average transactional value, I'm going to talk about it, and repurchase frequency, I'm also going to talk about it. So let me just go ahead and jump forward. Oh, look, this was actually, I used an actual example for this slide. When I used it, I actually used somebody's actual studio. And when I ran their numbers, I figured out that their monthly sales were $13,217, and they had 187 clients. So I took 13,000, divided it by 187, and I got that on average, each client spent $70.68. And I just assumed that the repurchase frequency was 1. And I said, okay, my friend, your goal for the month, for next month, let's say it's the month of April, your goal is to increase every one of these buckets by 10%. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how to create that increase. So the 10% increase from 187 clients is 206. So this person needs to bring in 20 clients, right? 20 clients in the new month. Is it doable? I think so. If you really set a goal like that and you work at it, I absolutely believe that you can bring you can bring in 20 new clients into your yoga business. The 10% increase in the average dollar amount per sale, I said from $70, your goal is to increase it by $77 to $77. And the repurchase frequency is 1.1. So this person just increased their monthly revenues from $13,000 to $17,000 in just 1 month. Now, why am I talking about numbers? Understanding numbers, looking at your numbers, and making your numbers work for you is power. If you never look at your numbers as you run your yoga business, I just don't think it's correct. I believe it's challenging to succeed if you don't look at your numbers, if you don't analyze your numbers. So let me just give you a more specific example. So I actually used that, I looked it up, I used this as a monthly Yoga Mogul Mastermind in February 2019, so almost 2 years ago now. So this particular workshop has all the details, but today I'm giving you a really high level overview. So here are some ideas on how to increase your number of clients by just 10%. I think it's very, very doable. If you set a goal and you get to work, I believe you can achieve that. So one of the ways you can increase that number of clients coming into your studio or purchasing something from you from month to month is run a report on clients who have not been to your studio in the past 6 months. You can run a report on the clients who have not been to your studio in the past 12 months. So if you use MindBody, it's a very simple report. And then you reach out to those clients. You just target those clients, send them an email, call them, text message them, offer them an irresistible offer. Maybe you can extend an intro offer 30 days for $30 for them. Maybe you can offer something silly like 5 classes for $25. Maybe you want to invite them to come to a workshop that you're leading. But the point is, get that person, get those people back into your yoga studio again. Reach out to them. They're not going to show up on their own. So your goal here is to increase the number of clients by 10%. And remember, if we're simplifying and if we're going from 100 clients to 110, I think it's going to be very, very easy to do. Another thing that I really enjoy is create a referral program, a really clear and set and easily communicate, and make sure that you communicate a referral program to incentivize your current clients to bring their friends and family. Maybe it is if you bring 5 new friends, if you bring 5 people with you, you get 1 month of free yoga. Or maybe you give them a $50 discount on retail items. So set a very clear written referral program and communicate it to your clients so they see it often, so they're reminded of your referral program often, so that they can constantly, like, look, they already love your product, they already love coming to your yoga studio. It will be so easy for them to invite their friends and family to come as a thank you, as a gesture of gratitude. Give them something nice. Maybe you just take them all to lunch or something like that. The same goes with incentivizing reviews on Google or whatever it is, Foursquare or something like that. So anytime you write a review on my yoga studio, I give you, I don't know, a can of coconut water for free. It doesn't have to be something big, but if you communicate it to your clients, then the clients will remember to write reviews, and people look at reviews. People do look at your reviews in this day and age. Another idea on how to bring new clients into your yoga studio is to run Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, I think a couple of weeks ago on this Facebook page, I did post a video, a tutorial on how to upload your existing email list and set up your Facebook ads in such a way that Facebook will literally create a look-alike audience very similar to your existing audience, and you can specify it like the parameters, right? If you live in the Houston area or in Austin area, you can put in the zip codes, or you can say this zip code and the area 2 miles around this area, so that you are targeting a physical location where your clients live. I think it's a very, very powerful way to target your ideal clients. And then you can create like really fun challenges where you can incentivize your current clients, your biggest fans, to create short videos or to constantly post on social media about your yoga studio. You can even schedule some. This is what I used to do at my yoga studios. I would create some sort of trade with a professional videographer or professional photographer, and then I would invite 5, 10 of my most loyal clients, my biggest fans, and I say, hey, we're gonna spend an hour. We're going to spend an hour and a half, and I would schedule them. Like, look, execution is everything. The way you do it is everything. So I would literally schedule them for like 30-minute windows for them to work with a professional photographer or videographer, to take their professional pictures and record them saying how much they love your yoga studio. You can even write that script for them if you kind of sense that it's very difficult for them to do that. Again, execution is everything. If you organize it and if you execute it powerfully right away, you've got this invaluable content to post on your social media, to blast in your emails, etc., to put it on your website, and it essentially didn't cost you anything. It's a free way to advertise and market. Plus, you're using real clients, real people to give their testimonials and their experience at your yoga studio, which is the most effective form of marketing. And you always hear me talk about organize and powerfully roll out, execute fun community events. Again, I talked about this particular, organize and powerfully execute fun community events, I believe, on the last Yoga Mogul Mastermind, which we had in March. But for those of you who are members of my Yoga Mogul Mastermind, I usually spend more time and go over all of these things in details. So here's the second bucket, right? How do you increase the average transactional value? In other words, an average sale of your clients. So you've all heard the success of McDonald's, right? McDonald's is all around the world, and the 6-word question that they asked brings 68 million customers a day across the globe, and that results in billions of dollars that McDonald's generates. They ask, would you like fries with it? Right? Would you like fries with it? So if this model worked for McDonald's and resulted in billions of dollars, I assure you something similar like that is gonna work for your yoga business, for any business, as a matter of fact. You can say, like, look, if you teach hot yoga, you can say, hey, would you like a coconut water right now to replenish your electrolytes? When in my yoga studios, I had 7 locations of Yoga One. We did a 400% markup on coconut water. 400% markup on coconut water. And I assure you, like, remember, I showed you the power of the numbers. Even though it seems like, how is $3.50 coconut water going to change my numbers? Absolutely, it will. This is the power of numbers. This is the power of geometrical growth. Now, if you measure the numbers, if you create a clear plan on how to execute on those numbers, I promise you that your revenues will grow at a minimum of 30% month over month. But again, you have to plan and successfully execute this. Another way to increase the average transactional value or an average sales value for your clients, this is what we did at Yoga One really well. We created beautiful and fun branded retail. So we sold our tank tops for $20. And ultimately the markup was very tiny for me, but I always looked at the branded retail as free marketing. So that we had people who collected Yoga One branded tank tops for like 10 plus years. So every year we did a fun community event like 40 Days to Personal Revolution or 21 Day Love Revolution. We did fun summer programs, and people waited for those tank tops to come out, and they would buy them like as soon as we put them out. Now, not only does this number increase your average transactional number per sale, but it's also free marketing and promotion for you. And again, workshops and seminars, make it cheap, like $20-$25 a person. Again, you're looking for incremental tiny growth in every one of those buckets for the numbers to work. Another thing that I personally thought it was so much fun. It's in-class private. Well, of course, not in the times of pandemic. It's probably is irrelevant. But anyway, when we come out of the pandemic, in-class privates, I think, is a brilliant way to generate additional revenues and offer a product that I guarantee you nobody else is offering in the market. And then ideas on how to increase the repurchase frequency, right? For this particular example, we assumed that repurchase frequency was 1. So all you need to increase it is by 10%, right? So in other words, if a person buys something only once at your yoga studio and currently it's their monthly auto pay, right? It's one item that they purchase every month. All we need to do, and let's say they are the amount of that auto pay is $100. So all we need to do for the numbers to work, for the J. Abraham method to work, all you need to do is get that person to spend just $10 more a month for the geometric growth to take place. So here is how you increase repurchase frequency. Now, look, I always say that your attendance will always go hand in hand with sales. If you want your sales to grow, your attendance needs to grow. If you currently are not looking at attendance numbers, you're making a mistake. When I ran my yoga studios, I looked at attendance every single day for every one of my 7 studios. I looked at sales every freaking day for every one of my yoga studios. You know how much time it takes to do that? But I did it because it is that important. The more people come to your yoga studio, the more money they spend. If they come regularly 3, 4, 5, 7 times a week, they just every time they come, they just buy that coconut water or they buy that vitamin C packet. You know, those tiny little sales do add up. Here I talk about our brilliant pricing strategy, but I'm an irresistible offer and auto pay conversion, but I'm not going to talk about it because I teach it in my Rockstar Yoga Business course, and we just don't have time for that right now. But I'm just telling you that attendance will always go hand in hand with sales. Get them to come to your yoga studio. Market and always innovate. You must. I always say this: the secret to success of any business, including yours, is constant marketing and innovation. You simply must tell the world constantly about what it is that you are offering into the world. So that means regular, consistent social media posts. That means e-blasts and newsletters, in-class announcements. This means having eye-catching, beautiful graphics and marketing collateral. Again, I just gave you an idea of organizing some sort of trade with a local photographer, or maybe 3, maybe 5 photographers. Schedule those photo sessions for people, 30-minute, 15-minute photo sessions, and then you ask them to post that on their social media, tag your yoga studio, and give a 2-sentence testimonial why they like coming to your yoga studio. I promise you, they would love that exchange. I mean, they get professional photos and all they need to do is to show up for 15 minutes and make a Instagram post. It's a great deal, especially if I'm making a post about my yoga studio that I love so much. And then last, creating a sales culture among your team is important. If you're the only person in your business who is focused on selling, you are in trouble because you're just one person. It's creating a sales culture among your team, and I don't want it to sound really bad, like somehow sales are bad. Ultimately, I'll tell you how we did it at Yoga One, and this is one of the reasons why we were so successful. You always have to connect the dots. You as a leader will always have to give your team, your community, a bigger why, a bigger picture. What is your higher purpose? Why should people align behind it? Why should your team make these announcements that makes them feel silly? Why should they say, would you like coconut water every time a person comes out of the yoga class? The why is, I'll tell you our higher purpose, our bigger why at my yoga studio. It was to help people live a happy, healthy, and inspired life. So we all know that practicing yoga undoubtedly helps people live a happy, healthy, and inspired life. So it is a business. After all, it is a business. So we want people to come back, because the more they come, the more healthy, happy, inspired they feel. The more they come, the more we generate abundance and prosperity. The more we get opportunities to share that wealth with our team. Do you know what I mean? So always, whatever it is that you do, always connect it to a bigger why, not only for yourself as a leader, not only to your team who is with you, it is your team, but also to your community at large. Okay, you guys, today was kind of a long one, a 30-minute in Facebook Live, but I hope you got a lot of value out of it. I go into the details about everything that I talked about today in my Yoga Mogul Mastermind. It's only $39 a month. We meet on the 15th of each month. All the content is recorded and available to you forever. So now I have content for the last 3 years, and this is content about strategy, pricing strategy, strategies on how to increase your attendance, strategies on how to convert those people who walk into the door. How do you convert them and make them your biggest fans? Strategies on how to innovate, how to market, how to organize and lead community events, how to grow your community, how to grow your revenues. Ultimately, how to make your business a thriving and successful business. This is everything that I've learned over the last 10 plus years of running a hugely successful yoga studios, 7 studios, a retreat center, juice bar, and online yoga video platform. So Yoga Mogul, it's on my website, albinarippy.com. And then of course, every Friday I get on here at 11 o'clock and I do these absolutely free Facebook Lives to hopefully inspire you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, or to